Hi guys, welcome back to this weekly outlook. Let's get started. So, starting from Euro pairs, as always, uh, this trade, this potential opportunity we have is a head and shoulders. It's not that clear. It's more of a 2 hour time frame, head and shoulders, where we have price making high highs and high lows, and finally making a sign of inversion. uh, the trend on this specific scenario is quite slow, has found some resistance on the previous levels, tried breaking out, but then went back again, respecting this whole area of resistance. So price is being showing signs of a slowdown of this whole uptrend, and so I'm looking for a sign of inversion in this case. The sign of inversion in this case will be a potential head and shoulders setup, which is this one here, where we have a left shoulder, head, and potentially a right shoulder here. So if price comes back to retest this level, so this neckline, then I'll be looking for a trade to go short in line with the overall pattern of a head and shoulders. But this will be only if price rejects on this key area. If we have a rejection, that will confirm a trade to go short. Rejection, as always, I look for a engulfing candle on the specific level or a strong rejection wick. Euro GBP, this was already shown on the last period outlook, I believe. Actually, no, this wasn't shown, but Euro GBP has been forming a bullish pattern. This is a bullish, new formed bullish uptrend after price started to break out of the previous highs, breaking out also of these previous highs as well. Uh, I'm looking for a potential retest on this key level here, which is a solid key level support or resistance on the daily time frame. So this is a swing trade, as this is daily candles, and it will take some time to retest and potentially make the next swing higher. So yeah, this is pretty much a trade that that's more long term. Euro JPY, it's more of a shorter term trade, almost intraday trade, actually intraday trade. We are pretty close to our most recent level of support or resistance. You can see the bullish structure forming higher highs and higher lows. We have this bunch of price candles breaking out of the most recent zone, which is also in line with our 61.8 fib, as you can see. So overall, solid setup. I'm just waiting for price to fully retest on that zone because it's not exactly on that zone. You can see clearly that price hasn't touched our key area just yet. If price slowly pulls back and rejects here, then I'll be looking for a trade to go long on the Euro JPY at the beginning of this upcoming week. Euro USD, we have an uptrend with price making again higher highs and higher lows. Just like Euro GBP, this is more of a longer term trade, more of a longer term uptrend, where we have this lower zone where price broke with fast candles. So I'm just waiting for price to retest on this zone, and if we have a rejection, then I'll be looking for a trade to go long on this pair. GBP CHF, again another swing trade. Uh, Also this one on the daily. We have price breaking out a very important level of support, which was tested many times, and this is seen as a solid level to take a trade from. So I'm just looking for price to pull back a little bit more higher, a little bit higher, and reject on the zone to look for a potential trade to go short. If we have a drop from here, I will consider also setting a sell limit here because this is very high probability. So it will be still it will be probably a good trade even without any entry indication actually, which is a bit more aggressive, of course. GBP and ZD, this was already shown on the last weekly outlook if you checked the recording or if you were in live last Sunday. But yeah, this test the same. These are clearly a head and shoulders on the daily time frame, left shoulder, head, potentially right shoulder. So I'm just looking for a price to potentially reject on this neckline. And if we have a rejection on this neckline, then I'll be looking for a trade to go short on GBP and ZD, looking for an inversion of this uptrend. USD quite interesting one. This again, this was already shown on the last weekly outlook, but this is still valid because price hasn't touched our key area and hasn't really reached our fib zone. So if price pulls back here and rejects, then I'll be looking for a trade to go short. On the other hand, there's still a possibility that price might just continue dropping from here after this pullback, even though it didn't retest the level. It looks like a quite of a strong rejection, actually, strong break, I mean, strong drop at the end of the last week. So there's a chance that we'll miss this trade if price just continues dropping at the beginning of next week. As I also see a dollar a little bit bearish after the last announcement from Trump regarding Suez Channel. Uh, so we also we'll probably be seeing gaps at the beginning of this week. So on Sunday open, we'll probably see gaps. So we want to be careful and wait for clear indications as always. Um, so in this case, we won't be sure if price will just open up here or if it will open here. If price gaps up, let's say I will probably be looking for a trader to go short on this level, especially if it gaps around here, then I'll be entering the trade immediately. Even if it didn't retest fully the level, let's say price opens here, and if we have a gap from here to here, then I'll just open the trade here. Also trading into the gap. We have recently we have been seeing a lot of gaps on Forex with current macroeconomic condition. USD SGD, this is more of an exotic pair, but again, it's showing another swing trade, potential trade to go short on this level, which is still a little bit aggressive as we have a 61.8, which is above the level. So you want to cover yourself with a stop loss at least above the 61.8 by a few pips. AUD CAD, this is another swing, daily time frame, but price has already been testing the zone. So all I'm looking for here is a break, a sort of break or a sort of engulfing candle, confirming this rejection at the beginning of next week. Especially if price, yeah, if price manages to close with a bearish engulfing candle below this low here, then I'll look for a trade to go short. So if you have a close below, that will be my entry to go short on the AUD CAD, which has been showing some signs of rejection. In a similar way, we have AUD JPY. We're looking for price. This is again another downtrend, bearish structure, but pretty clear. We have the clean and strong break. We have the slow retest. So I'm just waiting for price to potentially break out of this low here. So if we form a bearish engulfing candle or a strong bearish candle closing below this low, so below this line, then I will be entering a trade to go short on the UDJPY. It's something like this. We will say like this as well as like this if you want to look for higher risk reward ratio. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking for in this case on the UDJPY. And the CHF. This was already covered on the last weekly outlook, and yeah, look also where it retested exactly on the key level. That's where exactly where it rejected perfectly and dropped. But the setup in question was this long, as we had price making a bullish structure here, breaking new highs and forming this strong clean break and a slower retest. Once market opened, we had a very strong, lots of rejection weeks. Even though price closed below the level, I would consider this trade still valid because price immediately came back with a strong rejection. And this is exactly what I said in the last weekly outlook. I would only enter the trade if price rejects and still uh, keeps around this area and above uh, around the zone. So here we have quite a strong rejection week on this stage 4 candle. This is a very strong confirmation. Pretty high probability of a trade to go long here. And I woke up in the morning. This happened overnight. In the morning, price was still around here, uh, still hanging around the same level where we had the confirmation. So I decided to enter for a trade to go long, and it played out correctly, making it the high and targeting this high for a 1.8 risk to reward ratio. Now price reached the level for the short, but I didn't quite catch the short. It was very precise, and it was on Friday, and I didn't want to enter any trade at the end of the week. Uh, you could enter at the closure of this bearish engulfing candle, respecting the overall analysis we showed on the last weekly outlook. Yeah, you can see it's quite an easy trade. Quite I mean, not really an easy trade, but quite a clear clean break, slow retest formation. Quite a strong downtrend at the moment. And the USD was another trade from the last weekly outlook, but I missed the trade because price didn't fill my buy limit. So in this case, we had the confirmation. Here was around midnight before I was actually going to sleep here. We had the uptrend, clear uptrend. We had strong clean break, retest. Price started hanging around this zone. I probably could have entered at this strong rejection, but this was on Friday, and I told you guys I uh, I wanted to see another entry indication. I mean, I wanted to see how market opened on Friday, and market opened very well. I mean, on Monday, and market opened very well here with a very strong bullish engulfing candle. Entering here would have given me a very low risk to reward ratio, so I decided not to take the trade, and instead I set a buy limit at 50% of the engulfing candle. Although the buy limit wasn't filled uh, because uh, price just continued straight up without filling our buy limit, so it didn't manage to uh, hit the target, didn't manage to fill the trade and hit the target, and it was just a missed trade, which is okay because it happens. It's okay because I still catched the ends D long. CHF JPY was a stop loss I took this week. Disrespected the analysis very well still, uh, but my entry was at this bearish engulfing candle. This was placed at market open just like NZD USD, but this was failed actually on 50% of the engulfing candle, a little bit higher actually, and it stopped me out before running into profit, which is sad. But I probably could have set a higher stop loss like this, and this would have been a target. But I didn't want to have a. I mean, the risk reward was a bit lower. Uh, and I thought that this rejection was quite strong, and the price was it was still overall a valid trade. Also, I'm having a stop loss above this high. I thought that was safe, but instead, price stopped me out and continued lower, which is also okay. It's part of the process, but uh, as always, you want to manage risk correctly. And I lost 1%. I mean, I lost -1 R on this trade, but I also gained 1.8 on this pair. So overall, it was a profitable week, and that's okay. US 30, I was looking for this break retest to go short. I wanted to see price go a little bit above before going lower, but instead this was market open here, market open and price just straight up, straight dropped straight down. So we didn't manage to catch the short, and as well uh, I didn't enter this trade. I missed it because I focused more on Forex. But again, I said on the last weekly outlook that price was going to fall into this area between this low and between these 2 points, and it was going to reject and continue higher, as is shown from the arrows that I marked up last Friday when price was here. And Price did exactly as expected. It only didn't catch the entry point, sadly, but it did as expected on the bullish side and fell exactly into the hour area, which is the one I have in my green box, as you can see. It fell into the area, rejected bullish engulfing candle, as you can see, very clear. Bullish engulfing candle, and then it made a strong move upwards for a plus 2.93%. So if any of you guys, I mean, actually, it's much more. Uh, actually, it's much more. Yeah, for the maximum was at 6%, but if you close the market closure, we have 5.49% overall movement from this level. So it was a quite a nice move if you manage to enter based on our the analysis from the last weekly outlook. Uh, So yeah, no, just I just wanted to give you a recap of this. But I don't really see any opportunity on US 30 and also on the other US indices. It's just not really a clear trend at the moment. It will have to break above the highs or break below the lows to have a more clear trend. Yeah, US oil actually we have price very close to our level. So I'm just looking to trade potentially from here for a setup to go short. This was already explained on the weekly outlook, so I'm just waiting for price to finally make this pullback and wait for the entry on this level. Silver, I already said, yeah, I've already talked about this zone. I don't really trade silver that much, but I always share the analysis on silver. And price is reacting from the zone we have marked up, but hasn't made any significant rejection. As you can see, all the bullish candles are much more powerful than the bearish candles. If price breaks below this low here, there's quite a chance that uh, price will probably make a lower move uh, from here. So you could consider a trade if price shows some weakness, potentially dropping below here. And on gold, I don't really see much except for a potential pullback and then move higher. Uh, it could be from here or as well from here or from here. There's multiple scenarios. You can split the risk and potentially enter multiple trades. 0.25 here, 0.25 here, and 0.25 here, just for a more of a long-term vision. But I'm not really looking to trade on at the moment on gold. I'm just waiting on the other setups I've been showing you guys. So yeah, we have such we have so many setups this week, so many interesting pairs making their moves finally. So I'm looking to take some trades this week definitely, uh, and I'm excited that it will be hopefully a good week as we have lots of potential pair lining up. Some of those pairs are swing trades, so will take some time, maybe not this week, maybe next week, and it's all good. What matters is being patient, as always. Wait for the right confirmations, don't force any trade, and everything will go well. That's that's the plan. To always be patient. Um, So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to show you guys on this weekly outlook. As always, this is recorded and will be uploaded on the Excelsior Hub channel. So as always, feel free to check it out. And if you need to rewatch some analysis, uh, that's where you can find it. And I'll post it on Telegram and Discord. All right, guys. Uh, that's pretty much all the setups I'm seeing. We have covered so many pairs, and I hope you can make the most out of this analysis. So, as always, guys, I'll talk to you on the next weekly outlook. Bye bye.